Many English speakers starting to learn Spanish will be happy to realize that there are many words in English that are almost the same in Spanish. For example, hamburger and hamburguesa, area and área, television and televisión, and dozens more. These are cognates, words that sound similar and have the same definitions in both English and Spanish. However, there are also false cognates between the two languages. False cognates, often referred to as falsos amigos or false friends, are words that sound similar but don't share a definition. You might have seen a viral video of rapper Cardi B in March 2020.
Otros países latinos no, ¿cómo que se dice support? No soportan el pueblo dominicano.
The audio of that exchange became a meme on TikTok and other platforms because the person helping her was incorrect. Support doesn't translate to soportar, even though they sound similar. Soportar is a false cognate. In this video, I am going to show you a list of the most common false cognates. I'll give you the Spanish word followed by the English word that it's often confused with. Then I will also give you the actual definition of the Spanish word along with the Spanish translation of the English false cognates so that you have everything there. Okay, so let's get started right now. We are going to start with a group of verbs, and the first verb we have here is soportar. Soportar sounds like the English word support, but it actually means to tolerate or to put up with something. Support in Spanish is apoyar. Let's take a look at an example of the verb soportar. Las personas que vivimos en Minnesota tenemos que soportar la nieve. Las personas que vivimos en Minnesota tenemos que soportar la nieve. Another verb, asistir. Asistir sounds like the English word assist, but asistir actually means attend, to attend. Apoyar is how we say assist in Spanish, but let's take a look at an example with the verb asistir. Los estudiantes asisten a su clase de español todos los días. Los estudiantes asisten a su clase de español todos los días. The next verb we have here is realizar. Realizar. Many English speakers think realizar means realize. It actually translates to fulfill or to carry out. On the other hand, darse cuenta. Darse cuenta is how you would say realize in Spanish. So let's take a look at an example with the verb realizar. Los jugadores de fútbol realizaron perfectamente el plan del director técnico. Los jugadores de fútbol realizaron perfectamente el plan del director técnico. The next verb we have here is recordar. Recordar. Even though recordar contains the word record, that's not what it means. Recordar means to remember. Recordar means to remember. Grabar is record in Spanish. So let's take a look at an example here with recordar. Necesitamos recordar los falsos amigos en español. Necesitamos recordar los falsos amigos en español. The next verb we have here is restar. Restar. Restar does not mean to rest. It means to subtract. Descansar is the word we need for rest in Spanish. For example, para calcular mis impuestos necesito restar. To subtract. Restar. Los gastos a mis ingresos. Otra vez. Para calcular mis impuestos, necesito restar los gastos a mis ingresos. Now let's take a look at a group of adjectives and adverbs. The first word we have here is embarazada. Embarazada. This might be one of the most famous false cognates. Embarazada does not mean embarrassed. Again, embarazada does not mean embarrassed. It means pregnant. Embarrassed in Spanish is avergonzado, avergonzada. For example, Juanita está embarazada. Juanita está embarazada. She's not embarrassed, she's pregnant. The next word we have here is emocionante. Emocionante seems like the word emotional in English, but it actually means exciting. Exciting. Emocionante, exciting. Sensible is the Spanish word for emotional. Sensible. Okay? So emocionante, exciting. Take a look at this example here. La final de la Copa Mundial va a ser un juego muy emocionante. La final de la Copa Mundial va a ser un juego muy emocionante. The next word we have here is educado. Educado sounds like educated, but it actually means polite. There's an extra bonus false cognate here because culto is the word for educated, even though it looks like cult. Okay? Example here for the word educado. Carlitos es un niño muy educado. Él siempre bota la basura en el tacho. Otra vez. Carlitos es un niño muy educado. Él siempre bota la basura en el tacho. Okay? The next word we have here is largo. And largo looks like the word large in English, but it actually means long. Largo means long. Grande is the word for large. Okay, so if you want to say that something is large, you can say grande, but don't say largo because largo means long. For example, el río Mississippi es el río más largo de los Estados Unidos. El río Mississippi es el río más largo de los Estados Unidos. Now let's take a look at a group of nouns, and the first word that we have here is disgusto. Disgusto sounds like it should mean disgust, but it translates to annoyance. The Spanish for disgust is going to be asco. So let's take a look at an example here. Fue un disgusto encontrar la casa muy sucia después de nuestras vacaciones. Fue un disgusto encontrar la casa muy sucia después de nuestras vacaciones. The next example here is very common too. This is the word mayor. Mayor. It's spelled the same way as the English word mayor, but it actually means older. The Spanish for mayor is alcalde. Okay, alcalde. But mayor, the word we have here, mayor, means older. For example, mi hermano mayor es el alcalde de la ciudad. Mi hermano mayor es el alcalde de la ciudad. The next word we have here is últimamente. Últimamente doesn't mean ultimately, it means lately or recently. A la larga. A la larga is the way we would say ultimately in Spanish. So, an example for últimamente would be: últimamente ha estado lloviendo mucho en mi ciudad. Últimamente ha estado lloviendo mucho en mi ciudad. Okay? Next we have éxito. Éxito looks a lot like exit, but it actually means success. Success. Éxito means success. The Spanish for exit is salida. Okay? Not éxito. Exit in Spanish is salida, because éxito means success. Let's take a look at an example here. El candidato tuvo mucho éxito con las personas de mayor edad. El candidato tuvo mucho éxito con las personas de mayor edad. Another word we have here is familiar. Familiar. Familiar is spelled just like familiar in English, but it means relative or family member. Conocido is the Spanish for familiar. Okay? So familiar in English is a relative or a family member. For example, tengo muchos familiares en Europa. Tengo muchos familiares en Europa. The next word we have here is carpeta. Carpeta. And carpeta sounds just like carpet, but it actually means folder. Okay, the Spanish word for carpet is alfombra, but carpeta means folder. For example, por favor lleven sus carpetas a la clase de mañana. Por favor lleven sus carpetas a la clase de mañana. So carpeta sounds like carpet, but it means folder. Okay, the next word we have here is red. Red. That doesn't mean rojo. Red in Spanish is network. Red is the Spanish for network, not the color red. Okay, if you know the colors in Spanish, you know that red in Spanish is rojo, but red means network. For example, la red celular tiene la mejor conexión en todo el país. La red celular tiene la mejor conexión en todo el país. Another word here is sopa. Sopa, which sounds just like soap, but it actually means soup. Soap in Spanish is jabón, but sopa means soup. Example, mi madre va a preparar sopa de pollo para la cena. Mi madre va a preparar sopa de pollo para la cena. Another word, ropa, a very popular word, ropa. Sounds like rope in English, but it actually means clothes. Okay, ropa doesn't mean rope in English. Ropa means clothes. In Spanish, we would say cuerda for rope. Okay, so let's take a look at an example for the word ropa. A Alberto le gusta llevar ropa de colores brillantes. A Alberto le gusta llevar ropa de colores brillantes. And one more word here, which is going to be the word nudo. Nudo. That doesn't mean nude. It actually means knot. Okay? Nudo doesn't mean nude. Nudo means knot. The word for nude in Spanish is actually desnudo. Okay? Desnudo. But nudo means knot. For example, es importante que los marineros sepan cómo hacer nudos. Es importante que los marineros sepan cómo hacer nudos. Even though false cognates can be tricky on the surface, they can actually be easier to memorize than vocabulary words with no point of reference in English. With some practice, the confusion will disappear. Thank you very much for watching. Yo soy Giancarlo y yo apruebo este mensaje. Chao.